everyone, my name is Gitika Gorthi, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ignited Thinkers, and welcome back to another Rosie Riveter's Snack Time Science. Today, we're going to be talking all about the formation of life and sourdough bread together. Yes, you heard me right. Today, we're going to be talking about food and science together, and then we're going to tie it back all together in relation to space and how life outside of our planet can exist and we can make it exist. So let's get started. Sour bread is very tasty and very delicious. However, for something that's so simple and is practically on all of our plates every day, it's quite complicated. Sour bread is composed of only 3 ingredients, which are water, flour, and salt. However, when all of these materials are combined together, it creates a microbiome. Microbiome is a gathering for bacteria or microorganisms that kind of just live and it's almost like their habitat. Anyway, the dough creates a favorable environment for the naturally occurring yeast and lactic acid bacteria to colonize. Sourdough starters are mainly comprised of 2 types of bacteria. The first is yeast. The second is lactic acid bacteria. They work together to create an environment that stops invaders from colonizing and allows the bread to flourish. The yeast uses the sugars and starches from the flour as a source of fuel. They convert the sugars into ethanol and carbon dioxide, which allows the bread to elevate and become tasty. Now that you guys were able to get a little better insight into how bacteria forms in bread and how bacteria is very flexible in its formation, so it can grow in very hostile environments, how does this all relate to space or astrobiology? Astrobiology is the study of learning about life and the origin of how the Earth started and how life is formed. And so how does this bacteria and bread relate to that? Like I was mentioning earlier, bacteria is quite unique. There are various types of bacteria that can withstand and originate from various types of conditions. Some bacteria form in hot environments, such as very hot planets, whereas some bacteria can form in freezing cold temperatures like in Antarctica or another freezing cold planet. So if we think about this in relation to space, bacteria has the flexible nature to grow in very hostile environments. And when you think of hostile environments, the first thing that comes to my mind is space. Space is exposed to various types of conditions, whether it be the different objects in space, the space radiation, and the planets themselves. If bacteria is going to grow inside, for example, Mars, there are very different temperatures there than here on Earth. And some bacteria may be able to withstand it or evolve to withstand it. As we're planning to go back to the moon in 2024 and even potentially to Mars after, it's crazy to think how many scientific advancements need to come through before then. A part of the problem that we're thinking of is sustainability in these planets one day. One day we would love to live on Mars. I mean, just like The Martian. If you haven't watched the movie Martian, I personally really like it. Of course, it's really unrealistic to the current things that we can do in Mars, but it's very indicative of the future that we're looking and heading towards. Bacteria plays an essential role in the process as we explore these different planets and go into colonization in the future potentially. It was actually found that bacteria plays a key and critical role in the development of plants in harsh environments. So that kind of gives us a clue that we could potentially genetically modify the bacteria here on Earth to help plant growth in hostile environments like Mars, for example. Of course, we would need other elements such as water. However, taking into consideration of how bacteria can form in hostile environments, the role it plays can have a critical role into developing plants, food in a different planet one day. Imagine colonizing like the Martian in Mars. That would be epic. And I know learning about this type of bacteria from the simplest of how it grows here on Earth to how it can grow in different planets is really crazy to think about and is scientifically amazing. So want to create your own biome and be a scientist in your house? Well, watch the next video, which is a Rosie Makes video on how to create your own sourdough bread and how to get bacteria to form in your own house. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video series. Bye!